The 2021-2022 NBA regular season has come to a close, and now is the perfect time to talk about the NBA draft lottery because I'm sure there are a ton of fan bases right now that are curious, how exactly does the NBA draft lottery work? How is it going to impact my favorite team? And should I get my hopes up to be landing potentially the number one overall pick? We're going to cover all of that in today's video using the 2022 NBA draft odds. We're going to explain how each team has the potential chance to be picking first overall in this class. We're going to be covering some misconceptions as well in this video about the NBA draft lottery, going over the actual process, how the draft lottery is conducted, and how the results are really come to in the draft. We're also going to talk about how the draft lottery works completely. So this is the best place to be. There's a lot of work that goes into these videos behind the scenes. I put together all these presentations and make sure I do all my research on this to make sure I'm bringing the most factual information to you I can. So make sure to show some love for that by hitting that subscribe button and also leaving a like on today's video. And if you do have any more questions, go ahead and comment them as well. I will be responding to every single question about the NBA draft lottery because I have spent a lot of time learning about it. So let's jump into it here with the biggest, most important misconception that I think most NBA fans are unaware of. And that is the NBA draft lottery is actually only a lottery for the first 4 selections. Only the first 4 picks are done through the lottery. Picks 5 through 30 are done based on standings for the remaining teams. So based on how your team finished. So for example, if you were the worst team in the league and you don't get any luck in the lottery, you are by default picking 5th. So if you are not selected through the lottery for the first 4 selections, you will automatically be placed 5th. And so on and so forth. For example, if you're the second team and the first team ahead of you also does not get selected and you don't get selected, you would be picking 6th. Don't worry, I have a table showcasing all of this as well. And we're going to showcase that right now. But remember, only the first 4 picks are done through the lottery. And I highly recommend screenshotting this right now because if any of your friends ever ask or if you're ever curious about what this is, this lottery table here shows you the lottery odds for each team and how this will work. What I'm going to start here with is talking about Houston. Houston is in the driver's seat here. They have the worst record in the NBA and therefore technically have the best odds to finish with a high selection, even though the odds are technically tied 1 through 3 with the new lottery system under Adam Silver, whereas historically the number 1 team under David Stern would have had a 25% chance to have the number 1 pick. That number is reduced to 14% now. And as you can see here, Houston has a 14% chance to pick 1, a 13.4% chance to pick 2, 12.7% chance to pick 3, 12% chance to pick 4, and then a 47.9% chance to pick 5. And you can notice they have 0% chance to pick 6 through 14. Because the lottery, again, is only for the first 4 selections, it is physically impossible for Houston to pick 6th. And likewise, it is impossible physically for Portland, Sacramento, LA, San Antonio, Washington, New Orleans, which obviously goes to Portland, New York, Atlanta, Charlotte to be picking 5. And I also want to point out, I am recording this before the play-in tournament happens. So if your team is one that's in the play-in, for example, San Antonio, the Pelicans, which goes to the Blazers, Atlanta, or Charlotte, we can talk about what that specifically means for these teams. Go ahead and comment your questions on that as well, especially for those who are watching after the play-in has occurred. But as of right now, I do not know the results of that. So example, again, let's look at Portland here. They have the 6th worst record in the league. So they're in a position where best case scenario, they pick 1. They have a 9% chance of that. And you can see they have odds from pick 1 through pick 4 and pretty decent odds at that. There's, essentially a 40% chance that they could end up picking top 4 when you add up 9% plus 9.2% plus 9.4% plus 9.6%. But what you see is there is 0% chance to pick 5 because pick 5 is not done through the lottery. And the way that they would pick 6 here is if the 5 teams above them that had worse records are picking 1 through 4 in order. And then one of those 5 would be pick 5, obviously. And then Portland would be pick 6 in this order. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, screenshot this. I think it's going to help you looking back at later. Now let's talk about the actual ping pong balls in the process. There are 14 ping pong balls. Each ball has a numerical value between 1 and 14, excuse me. There are no repeats. As you can see, the ball 2 there, the one that is out of the case, has an underline on it. They are all underlined, so there is no question about clarity here. And we're going to talk exactly how the ping pong balls work, how they select the ping pong balls, because I think that's a very important question that you're probably asking. But before that, we're going to talk about the role of the ping pong balls in combinations. So there are 1,001 different combinations with one null combo. What I mean by the one null combo is there is one grouping of numbers that in a sequence of 4 means that they redo the whole lottery. If that gets drawn, they redo that selection there. These combinations are 4 numbers consecutively. And again, only the top 4 picks of the lottery, remainder by standings. Each team has multiple different combos. 14% of 1,000, which is the 1,000 different combos, minus the one null combo, is 140. So you're going to see here Houston, Orlando, Detroit have an equal shot at the number 1 pick, which is a 14% chance, which means they have 140 combinations that would lock them up for pick number 1. And I'm going to explain how this works a little bit later as well. But for an example here for pick 1, potentially the numbers 1, 7, 12, all drawn consecutively, could hinge on that final ball for what team picks first. For example, if it's a 5 as the final ball, as you can see on the bottom here, perhaps it could be the Magic. Again, I made these situations up. I don't know what the combinations are going to be. These are pre-designated, but we are not aware of those combinations. We just find out the results. Or if that final number is a 4, it could be the Rockets picking 1. Or if that final number is a 3, it could be the Pacers, which really goes to show that one ping pong ball could literally change the direction of your franchise, which is what makes the NBA draft lottery so fun, so crazy, so enjoyable for someone who loves sports the way I do, and also so aggravating at times as well. If you're a team that has moved down, it makes you feel really, really sick to your stomach when you think, oh, we could have gotten this generational player, and instead we're picking 4th in this when we maybe should have had a top 3 pick. So it is very aggravating. One ping pong ball could either elevate a franchise like what we've seen with Memphis getting John Morant, with Toronto getting Scotty Barnes, or it could leave your franchise down bad in other examples as well. So a lot hinges on potentially one ping pong ball. Going forward here, now let's explain those odds using our sheet here. So let's take the math here. 140 plus 140 plus 140 from those top 3 teams, then 125 combinations for Oklahoma City, 105 combinations for Indiana, 90, 75, 60, 45, 30, 20, 15, 8, and 7. You add all those numbers together, you get that 1,000 combinations. And then you add in the one null combination, which, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4 in order could be the null combination for this year. Again, that's just an example. I do not actually know. And that's your 1,001 combinations. The null combination, say they're trying to find pick 1 here, they go ahead and do it, and they get the null combination, they restart the process for pick 1. So the null combination, very unlikely that it happens. It's basically a 1% or a 0.1% chance, but it is possible that that outcome would occur. Now, the process here, this is one of the most important parts, and I think one of the parts that a lot of people don't know about. So let's go ahead and dive into it here. Again, this would be a helpful thing to screenshot if you want to teach your friends on it. Otherwise, you could direct them to this video. All 14 ping pong balls are placed in the lottery machine. You see the lottery machine there in the bottom right on the presentation. Balls are mixed for 20 seconds. There's an independent timekeeper apart from the NBA that signals for the ball to be drawn. Number 1 ball is drawn. So again, they're drawn 4 ping pong balls. They draw the first one here, and then they let the balls mix for another 10 seconds. Then again, the timekeeper signals draw number 2, and ball number 2 is drawn. 10 more seconds go by. Again, timekeeper signals for ball 3, and then ball number 3 is drawn. Again, 10 more seconds. Ball number 4 is then signaled to be drawn, and then they check the combination. So for example, again, it could be 5, 12, 7, 3, and they check the combination, and this rewards pick number 1 to said team. And that pick could be Orlando, it could be Houston, it could be Indiana, it could be any team in the lottery, which is why the lottery is so crazy. Think about when the Chicago Bulls moved up to get Derrick Rose, they got extremely lucky with the odds that they had. Now, if you look at the number 11 point here, if the null combo is drawn, you repeat the process from where you were. So if you were on pick 1, you repeat it. If you were on pick 2, you repeat it. And then you repeat this entire process for picks 2 through 4. And remember, pick 5 is not done through the lottery. Pick 5 is based on the remaining teams that did not get drawn in the lottery in order of standings, in reverse order. So the worst team in the league finishes with pick 5 then if they did not get drawn in the lottery. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, if you have any questions, please ask them. Do not refrain from asking them. I will be answering every single question about this video because I do know that it is somewhat complicated. I've tried my best to make it as easy as possible for everyone to understand, and I'm trying to go slow through the process so everyone gets it, because the NBA draft lottery is a lot of fun and it's very, very wild. So again, I hope that you guys are learning a lot about it as we go through. Now, for example, here I've got the Houston Rockets odds. Remember, looking at the table here, this is just an easy cheat sheet to help you. And if you want to screenshot this too, maybe that could be helpful for you in explaining it to others. But remember, first pick here, they have a 14% chance. You see that by the 14.0 under the number 1. 13.4% chance for number 2, 12.7% chance for 3, a 12% chance for 4, and then a 47.9% chance for 5. And of course, the reason for that, which is nearly a 50% chance, by the way, that they're picking outside the top 4, because it's actually more likely, it's almost more likely, excuse me, that another collection of teams gets drawn ahead of them. And remember, 6 through 14 is physically impossible for Houston, whereas 7 through 14 is impossible for Orlando. And for a team like Charlotte right now, 5 through 13 is impossible. So hopefully you guys do understand exactly how this works. So, and for example, here on draft lottery night, if Charlotte isn't the team picking 14 and we see, for example, Atlanta there, we know then at this point fully that Charlotte's in the top 4 because we know they're not picking 14, which is the only spot they could be picking. And in turn, we know that they were lucky in the lottery and did move up. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this video did help you understand exactly what the NBA draft lottery is all about. If you do have any questions, please comment them at me. Also like and subscribe. There's a lot of work that goes into these videos. Hopefully I made it as clear as possible in every single area. Again, I'm really excited for the NBA draft lottery. I believe it is May 17th, the day of the lottery. So we'll probably be live on the channel here as well. So make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to keep up with the NBA draft lottery. And we'll also have other NBA draft content on the channel as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll catch you in the very next utility sports video.